The Inkster City Council Monday, June 17, 2024 meeting is now called to order. Everyone please stand for our prayer. We volunteer. Deacon Rose, can you lead us in prayer?
Every heart pray. Eternal Father, Lord, we come right now in the name of Jesus, oh God. This is the day, oh God, that you have made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you for everyone that's attending this meeting tonight, Lord God, and the council and the mayor, as you continue to bless them in a mighty way as only you can, oh God. We know you're able, God. There's nothing that's too hard for you. Touch their minds, hearts, and souls that they come together on one accord and resolve the issues that's taking place in this great city, oh God, that build this city up to higher heights and deeper depths, oh God. Bless it. Touch each and every man, heart, and soul, Lord God, that they come together on one accord, where there's unity, there's strength. House divided cannot fall, cannot stand, Lord God. Bless them in a mighty way. Give them wisdom and knowledge how to go about to conduct this meeting and go through it, Lord God. We know you're able. Do it in a mighty way. We count it already done in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please keep standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Nolan.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Chisholm.
Present.
Councilwoman Rutledge. Present. Councilman Bishop.
Present.
Councilwoman Scott.
Present.
Councilwoman Howard.
Here.
Councilwoman Richardson. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Great. Everybody needs to look at the agenda. We were asked by the Treasury Department to take off item 6, 5 too early for them? Excellent. We're gonna take off item, what was it, G, budget. We're gonna call a special meeting for next Thursday to deal with the issue of the budget. It's either gonna be at 5 or 6 o'clock, but we will post it with the time, and we'll probably know in a few minutes whether it's 5 or 6 o'clock. So we take off budget. We have items A through F. Anything else we need to add or take off? Oh, we need to add, in place of budget, G,
It's at 5.
5 o'clock. So the special meeting next Thursday will be 5 p.m. in this chamber. So we're gonna add, closed session matter. Item G is a closed session matter. All right. All right. Any other changes? We have a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We probably moved in second. Any discussion? Make sure they show. Who said second?
I did.
Oh, it's G. All right, it's G.
It's G. Okay.
Y'all okay down there? Yeah. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That passes. Presentations.
Presentation from McKenna and Associates for the updating of the master plan for the city of Inkster.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
All right, glad to see everybody today. My name is Donovan Smith, Principal Planner with McKenna and Associates, and I'll be walking you through the update or the kickoff to your master plan. We did give this presentation to the Planning Commission a few weeks back, so we wanted to come here and do the same with you all. Okay? All right, so the just an overview of the presentation. I'll kind of just give a brief introduction, go over the master plan itself, some of the responsibilities between the city council and the planning commission, kind of go over some of the project approach and timeline, some things you can expect going forward, and then I'll close out with some takeaways and next steps. So I've introduced myself. I'll be the project manager for this project, but you may have also seen Paul or Bill. He's the director for the project. He just wasn't available this weekend, so you're usually going to get one of us. Usually it's him, or if not, it'll be me. And then also on this team is Jane Dixon, which you may be familiar with. So between the three of us, and then we have some other smaller help from staff, but we're pretty much the main primary individuals working on this project with you. So about the master plan, just a brief overview of what a master plan is. Master plans are long-range visions for your community. They are required by state law to be updated every year, and they are more, legislative. So they give a lot of policy and reform opportunities and long-range visioning. And then we also work with the redevelopment-ready communities, and they give us best practices and guiding points to kind of help facilitate communities in the best ways when we are updating these master plans. As mentioned, the master plan is a vision for the community, so it often will project out 10 to 20 years into the future, and it gives that high overranging details on future land use. I heard the capital improvements plan was mentioned, so we look at facilities, parks and recreation, zoning ordinance, and then we take all of these items and we consolidate them into what's called an action plan or a timeline. And what that is it's just a section of the document that gives a schedule of action items, when those items could be completed, who would be responsible for those items, and then we give kind of budgetary estimates on how much it may cost to complete some of those items. And then this is, again, a guide for the future growth for the city. Some other things we do is we do an inventory of community assets. So we look at like your parks and your park facilities. We look at those, your actual buildings, some of the infrastructure in the city, your road systems, lighting, and then we kind of look at what opportunities are presented from gaps that we've identified or things that the residents or community has provided us in terms of insight, and then we kind of put those into actionable items towards the end of the plan. When we look at the responsibilities of City Council, when it comes to the master plan itself, the City Council is responsible for performing advisory, ambassadorial, and public engagement focus throughout the process. So this includes receiving the recommendation from the Planning Commission on the draft of the master plan. When that happens, there has to be authorization for a 63 public day period for public comment. So that has to go through City Council. And then the final recommendation from the Planning Commission of the final draft of the plan, that also comes to City Council for adoption. And then as the final approving body, you ultimately do provide the final adoption of the plan post the recommendations that come from the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission does a similar function, just kind of on the opposite. So they review the comments, the drafts of the master plan itself. They give direction on some of the planning topics as related to like zoning and certain portions of the ordinance. And then those action items they also weigh in on. And then they also provide the final draft plan recommendation to City Council for adoption. And then they also provide the master plan recommendation for public distribution. That goes to this body after. They review the comments for the public and adjacent communities. So we do send out a notice to surrounding communities that we are updating the master plan. We get those comments back and we share those with the commission. And then they also hold the final public meeting on the Planning Commission side. So there are maybe 2 or 3 public meetings throughout this process. And then they can also act as the adopting body for the Planning Commission portion of the master plan. So the approach of the master plan, right now we are scheduled to start the adoption towards the end of this year. So it's about a 10-month schedule to get this master plan done. So right now we're in June, so we're working through and establishing the community engagement, the survey, the working boards, which I'll get to a little later. That will stretch on for a few months, and then we will start to take the input that we've collected and actually start to draft the plan. So you can start to look for sometime around November, December, you'll start to hear about a final draft plan, and then you'll see that public 63-day public hearing window coming up. The master plan is comprised of several components. It's comprised of the goals and objectives, which we get from engagement with you, the Planning Commission, and the residents. It's comprised of the future land use plan. So we look at the existing land use plan, the future land use plan that was previously adopted, and we work with the Planning Commission to just determine are there any changes or updates to that plan. We'll also include transportation considerations, looking at, again, those infrastructure systems within the city and determine, are there opportunities for improvement or investment or further things like that. And then finally, we'll consolidate those recommendations with the recommendations to your zoning plan and the action items that come in the back of the plan. This, just for your screen, is an example of our action plans. So kind of as I mentioned, they take the goals and objectives and they start to drill down on how you can accomplish these goals. We list those out, put those into a table, and then we rank them by priority, cost, timeline, and responsibility. So at the end of that plan, you'll be able to take that action component of the document and use that as your guide going forward. We also have public participation scheduled throughout this master plan process. So we currently have a community survey that has been shared with staff to be shared with the community. We are looking at an ongoing process of identifying events within the community where we can engage the public, where we have boards and visioning activities that, we call them passive boards, where residents can kind of go by, engage in the activity, provide input, and then kind of continue on with their activities. We'll be hosting a community workshop actually here in this room July 9th. So that'll be an opportunity for kind of everyone to start that engagement process. Staff does have the kickoff flyer. So you could kind of help share that. The more input we can gather at those activities, it kind of does make the plan better because it's just more data to make the decisions from. And then we also have what are called roundtables or focus groups. So we'll be working with staff to identify any particular groups that we may want to engage with kind of one-on-one or to the side to, again, go deeper into the public engagement and getting that input. Here is a brief schedule, very high-level schedule in terms of what will be going on with the community engagement. Again, the public survey will be starting soon. The July 9th event, and then other events that may be coming up in the future. And then you can, again, start to see towards the end of the year updates about a final draft and draft plans as we move towards the public hearing and adoption. Throughout the plan, we'll be, again, looking at some strategic issues about redevelopment opportunities. So, again, if there are certain areas that you would like highlighted within the plan, we carve out sections for that, as well as economic development corridors and nodes in certain areas of the city. We will be looking at a part of the grant that we're using. We'll be focusing on housing and looking at the housing stock and housing opportunities, strategies to increase or support affordable housing. And then we'll also be looking at certain intersections or primary corridors such as Michigan Ave, again, highlighting opportunities for further investment or improvements in those areas. And then just some closing items here for takeaways. We've looked at some of the population trends. As of now, they have started to trend steady. So we take information such as current census data and use those to create recommendations, which impact such as your capital improvements plan, your future projections, and then other opportunities on how you could increase population to support things such as housing. Like many communities throughout Michigan, the city of Inkster is an aging community. So while they are aging up, we also have an increase in youth population. So we are looking at those numbers and seeing what opportunities come out of understanding the age makeup of the city. And then I think this is the last one here related to housing, looking at the current housing values, of how those compare to the state, the region, and other communities, and creating insight from those as well. And then some of the next steps you may have received in your packet. We've started looking at the content of the plan itself and starting to look at your previous plan and what components of that we're going to be improving on and adding to. So what you have in front of you is a copy of the comparison between your previous master plan that shows which sections were in that plan and then which sections we're proposing in this update. And then you have a second document, and that just is just a concise summary of the table of contents that we kind of have drafted so far. So again, this is the copy of what you have in front of you. And then lastly, we'll be looking at, providing an executive summary, a section that we're tentatively titling Inkster today, which kind of goes over a lot of the existing conditions of Inkster. We'll have a section dedicated to community input. And then all master plans kind of require you have a section related to housing, transportation, and then economic development. And then ultimately, again, we do that action plan and implementation plan at the end of the document. So that's everything I have for you this evening. If you have any questions, I could answer those for you. Thank you.
Question? All right, thank you. We appreciate you coming out tonight.
Thank you.
Presentation of proclamation recognizing March as Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month.
I'll read the proclamation. So whereas multiple sclerosis is a disease that is associated with the damage to the central nervous system, and whereas there are about 2.5 million people living in the world today with multiple sclerosis, and there's a good chance that you may know someone that's affected by the disease. And whereas, as some risk factors for multiple sclerosis includes family history, lack of sunlight and or vitamin D exposure, smoking, and autoimmune system dysfunction. And whereas there has been no single test to date created to diagnose multiple sclerosis. And whereas, if diagnosed with the disease, could result in symptoms that include muscle weakness, partial blindness, depression, and extreme fatigue. And whereas Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month was launched in 2003 to educate and bring about national awareness. Whereas the vital goal of this campaign is to promote an understanding of the scope of this disease and assist those with MS in making educated decisions about their health care. And whereas, thanks to social media, spreading awareness about multiple sclerosis can be as simple as sharing a status update, a blog, or informative link on your page. And whereas Multiple Sclerosis Foundation, in an effort to get the community involved, offers awareness kits and have tools to help raise awareness of the disease during the month of March. And whereas there are several things as a community or an individual you can do to help assist the multiple sclerosis cause. You can educate, you can participate in MS events to raise awareness, you can donate, you can volunteer, or merely just be understanding and compassionate to an individual with multiple sclerosis. Now, therefore, be it resolved that on behalf of the Mayor, City Council, and the residents of Inkster, we declare March as the Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month. We want those that are affected by the disease to know that you're never alone on your journey. And so I've been working, working really close with Miss Ava Lindsay, an Inkster resident. So I wanted to present her with this proclamation, or do we take a picture of her with the proclamation as well? So if you guys want to.
I want to say thank you to everyone. I really appreciate this. It means a lot to me and the group. One of our group members, Lisa Rogers, she was here with me to support from Black MS Society, and the rest of them said they were watching because they couldn't make it. So I want to say hi, you guys. Thank you. And I have something for you. You gave something to me.
Oh, that's nice.
And orange is for MS in case anybody, you all didn't know. That's what orange represents for the month of March.
Thank you.
Trying to make this quick, I know that. I think
Lastly, on.
thanks again, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's very nice.
Thank you.
Presentation recognition of our fallen officer Kenneth Woodmore, end of watch 30 years. Chief Tamika Jenkins.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and residents of the city of Inkster. I'm coming before you today in recognition of Officer Kenneth Woodmore. He was a police officer with the Inkster Police Department, and he was killed in the line of duty 30 years ago today. Kenneth Woodmore, Inkster Police Department, end of watch, June 17th, 1994. Kenneth Woodmore was not only a police officer, but a son, a brother, a father, and a friend. Officer Woodmore left behind 4 children, Kenneth Jr., Samantha, Amber, and Jalen. Kenneth Woodmore was a dedicated police officer for the Inkster Police Department for 5 years. June 17, 1994, 30 years ago, Officer Woodmore was on patrol in the area of Pine and Henry when he made contact with a subject who was selling drugs while riding a bike. As Officer Woodmore walked towards the subject, he shot Officer Woodmore 5 times, and Officer Woodmore died on his way to the hospital. We remember the officers. We remember the officers who changed our lives, the men and women who protected us day and night, people who are respected for their dedication to the cause, for when faced with danger, they never even pause. We remember the officers who always stood true, whatever the color of uniform, brown, gray, or blue. With pride and integrity, they say to serve and protect. For the giving of their life, we offer our respect. We remember the officers who we never really knew, persons strong enough to answer the challenge are few. When heavy hearts we mourn, the officers in eternal rest, there's more to these people than the badge on their chest. Author unknown. End of watch, June 17th, 1994. May we never forget.
Attention all units, please stand by for a final call for Officer Kenneth E. Woodmore, badge number 63. Dispatch calling badge number 63. Dispatch calling badge number 63. Officer Kenneth Woodmore. Officer Kenneth E. Woodmore served the Inkster Police Department for 5 years with honor, bravery, and dedication. On June 17th, 1994, at the age of 33, Officer Woodmore made the ultimate sacrifice and was fatally shot while on patrol near Pine and Henry. Today marks the 30th anniversary of his end of watch, but the wounds felt by those who love him are still fresh. Though he's no longer with us, his spirit, dedication, and courage live on in our hearts. Through his family, children, and within our department, Officer Woodmore's commitment to protecting and serving our community will never be forgotten. Officer Kenneth E. Woodmore, continue to rest in peace. We have your watch.
I would like to acknowledge the family of Officer Kenneth Woodmore. If you can please stand. On behalf of the City of Inkster, the Inkster Police Department, we will never forget. His memory will always live on. We'll keep his memory alive. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you.
Charter Amendment proposed section 4.2 of the city charter to be amended to have our local city elections on the even years starting in 2028 to coincide with the U.S. presidential elections pursuant to MCL 168.692.
Second. We'll probably move to second discussion. All those in favor to open up the public hearing?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. All right, public hearing is open. Anyone can come to the mic and speak on this proposed amendment to the Inkster City Charter. You have any takers? If you had a question, you can also come to the mic and ask your question.
Just my question in regards to opening up the charter, in regards to align with the presidential election. What is the reason to open up the charter to amend it? Is it because of our voting turnout, or is it this is the only thing that will be amended inside of the charter?
This would be the only thing amended. It's twofold for me. It's expense on putting on the election. When we have local elections that don't coincide with a presidential or federal election, we have to pay for the election ourselves. And if we got on the cycle with the U.S. presidential election, we would have zero expense in our local elections.
Okay.
And also the number of voters triples from a national election, about 11,000 people, but we're right around 3,100 for a local election.
Okay.
Thank you for your question. Anybody else? Any other question? Comments? Do we have a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
Support.
Been properly moved and supported. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay. Next public hearing?
Resolution and authorized ballot proposal to adopt a public safety millage for the city of Inkster.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved to second. Discussion? All those in favor to open up the public hearing say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, the public hearing is open to discuss the proposed Inkster public safety millage. Anybody would like to comment on that? Chief, Either chief like to speak to it, explain what we're talking about?
So, again, we're looking for ways to generate funds right now. The public safety takes up roughly 60% of the general fund. We apply for grants, multiple grants yearly. Unfortunately, they're not guaranteed. Putting together some numbers, if we were to adopt a 3 mil, which would be $3 per 1,000 of taxable value, not assessed value. So just to give you an idea, assessed value of a home of $150,000, the taxable value would be $75,000. Monthly breakdown would be $18 on your tax bill. A $75,000 home would have $37,000 taxable value. That would be an additional $112 yearly, $9.38 monthly. So we'll provide the table with the breakdown of the numbers. We'll post it on the city website. The police chief and myself will be available to answer any questions at any time. We will be moving forward with public hearings. We'll be sitting down, having public forums. So if there are any questions, feel free to ask. We will have our emails available, our numbers available where you can contact us if you have any questions at all regarding it.
Any other questions or comments? Remember, if this body passes this language will be placed, this question will be placed on the ballot in November for the residents to decide whether they want to adopt a public safety millage. So we're not adopting tonight. We're just deciding whether to put it on the ballot to let the people decide. Any other questions or comments? Do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, it passes.
Consent agenda, approval of the June 3rd, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second. Been properly moved in second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Passes.
Nothing on the boards and commissions. No.
Oh, that one.
Just a correction. On the Parks and Recreation, you had the wrong name that was appointed. It's supposed to be Anthony Dooley.
Yep. What do you have, Stephen?
She had Malloy. Whose term was expired. You just didn't change the name. You expired the year. You changed the year, but you didn't change the name.
Okay.
That's for District 6, Parks and Rec. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, any other corrections, nominations? Okay,
Number 7, nothing on the ordinances. First reading, case number TA 24-01. Consider the Planning Commission's recommendation to approve the application for a zoning text amendment to allow for permitted uses in various zoning districts, including additional definition, uses, and standards.
So moved.
it's just a read.
First
First
reading.
read. Okay.
New business. Consider item A, consider approval of the charter amendment, proposed section 4.2 of the city charter be amended to have our local city elections on the even years starting in 2028 to coincide with the U.S. presidential elections pursuant to MCL 168.692.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and probably second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I just have a comment. I just want to say that I think that this is a great move for the city after being the former city clerk. It helps save the city money, and there also will be increased voter turnout for this. So this is a great, great move.
Just so everybody knows, we have to take this vote per state law by roll call. So we can't do the traditional vocal vote. We have to call each council member's name, and they'll let us know what their vote is.
Mayor Pro Tem Chisholm,
Yes.
Councilwoman Howard,
Yes.
Councilman Bishop,
Yes.
Councilwoman Richardson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rutledge,
Yes.
Councilwoman Scott.
Yes.
It passes.
Item B, consider approval for street closure block party for Pfizer Day Family Gathering, June 22nd, 2024, street closure, Lehigh Street, Cross Street, Meadowdale, and Bayhand. Event time, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the street closure for the block party.
A second.
Been properly moved in second. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. It passes.
Item C, consider approval for street closure block party for July 4th, event time 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., street closure, Penn Street, Cross Street, Princess, and John Daly.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Passes.
Item D, consider approval for street closure block party July 4th, 2024, street closures, Princess, Cross Street, Kitch, and Penn, event time 12 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Move for approval.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Passes.
Item E, consider approval to purchase one vacant parcel, case number LD 24-30. The parcel is located on the north side of Penn Street between Meadowdale Street and Beach Street. Parcel ID noted for $1,500.
Move for approval.
Second. Been properly moved in second. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Passes.
Item F, consider approval to purchase one structure and two vacant parcels, case number LD 24-31. The parcels are located on the east side of John Daly between Trowbridge and Dunning Street. Parcel IDs noted in the amount of $15,000.
So moved with discussion.
Okay.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. Discussion.
Okay, you said the property is per the assessor is worth 75,000?
Yeah, that's what Mario told us. Is that an assessed value?
That's the assessed value.
Assessed value.
True cash value is $75,473.
Any other comments, questions, concerns?
So, one more question. So if a person that's buying, that wants to buy this property today, if he bought it for the assessed value, is that what we selling it for, the assessed value?
It'd be up to this body. I mean, the question is whether you would like to sell it, even if someone offered the assessed value, or do you want to wait and see if we can grant money for the dog pound to be part of the new DPS building? So if for some reason, and there's a good chance we don't get grant money, we're in a situation now we don't have a dog pound. And we're paying a lot of money to the city of Ramos to take our dogs to, and I'm not sure how happy they are with that relationship. So we have to have somewhere to take these animals when we pick them up, when animal control picks them up. So we have to figure out our long-term plan, and this would just be an option. We could modify this building and make it a dog pound if we don't sell it.
So if we're waiting on grants, so you want to put a stipulation on how long before we do sell, or put it back off? So right now, we need to take that off tomorrow, being.
Oh, it's not on the market. I mean, it's just we own it, so someone can make an offer if they choose to. We're not marketing it or trying to sell it. It's just when someone makes an offer, we're obligated, the administration has to bring it to council.
Right.
You know. But we're not actively trying to sell it. It's our second offer this year on it, you know.
That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Anybody have anything else? Okay. So I'm gonna ask you guys, all those in favor to sell it for this $15,000, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Okay, it fails.
Item F, consider approval of resolution and authorized ballot proposal to adopt a public safety millage for the city of Inkster.
I make second.
Properly moved and second. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Passes.
And then I say that in closed session. So, I'd like to make a motion to vote in accordance with the agreements with is it Connolly Farms?
Oh,
Cassidy.
Cassidy.
Cassidy, oh, okay.
Inkster Micro Business LLC and Cassidy Farms.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion in accordance with the agreement with Cassidy Farms and Inkster Micro Business LLC and the additional language that protects the city of Inkster if necessary.
So moved. A second.
So it's been moved and second. Discussion.
This is item I, correct?
Yes. H. It's actually G.
It's G.
It's G.
G.
Wait, what did I miss?
Because you removed
Two.
and to the other side.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, so all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. It passes. All right, public participation. Walter Cooper.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and Council.
Good afternoon.
First, I want to tell all the guys up here happy Father's Day for yesterday. Hope you guys enjoyed your Father's Day. Also, I want to give a big thank you to Mayor Pro Tem Chisholm for joining us last Wednesday for our Walk a Mile Wednesday, the first to kick it off at Oak Street. It was really appreciated, so I really appreciate you. For anybody else that missed it, our next one.
Tell them how many miles y'all actually walk.
So it was called Walk a Mile Wednesday. I thought I walked a mile the day before, but I actually walked 2 miles. So we actually walked 2 miles last Wednesday, but the time went past really fast, so it was really good. If you missed the first one, our next one is July 10th at the Vision Center, 4360 Hickory Street, where we'll be walking a mile again with our police chief and as well as our lieutenant. Any other council person that want to join us at the Vision Center that day. Come on, Lindsay.
Are they all at noon or is there any like a little bit after?
This starts at 11.
That one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where it's cool outside. We won't be out there walking in the heat at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's fair.
And lastly, this Friday we are kicking off our movie night over at the Inkster Police Department for the summer season. We're going to start at 8 o'clock with games and prizes, and the movie is going to start at 9 p.m. So make sure you come out. We're going to have free food, free games, free prizes, and your chance to meet some of the Inkster police officers. And the movie we'll be premiering is The Little Mermaid, the one that just came out last year.
21st. It's Friday. April Garrett.
Good evening, Mayor Nolan, council, and residents. I got two things. I am speaking on behalf of the president of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Ada Omega chapter of Inkster, Dr. Shatina Jones, and Urena Ricks Johnson, social justice chairman. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority is seeking community partners who are interested in working with us to make sure that the community is registered to vote and will vote in the upcoming elections. We will be registering and encouraging citizens to vote during this Juneteenth weekend of action. So please see me after this meeting if you would like to partner with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority to make sure that our community votes. Please. And can I go with my next thing? All right. So I'm dual. I was AKA and I'm Wesleyan A. Bennett Foundation now. All right. Thank you for your participation in the Wesleyan A. Bennett Foundation Juneteenth celebration that was held this Saturday. The parade was fun, the performers in the program were excellent, and the scavenger hunt was enjoyed. We planned for 150 people and provided Kona ice snow cones and chicken wings, rib tips, mac and cheese, green beans, peach cobbler from Cornbread Restaurant, free of charge to the attendees. We added this administration to our permanent Juneteenth exhibit because you approved our first Juneteenth parade. Unfortunately, we were overwhelmed We had more than 250 people at the event in attendance. We ran out of food. I apologize. I'm sorry. I paid extra for snow cones on the spot, another 60. But we thank you. Our mission is to serve children, providing experiences that last a lifetime. And I believe that we accomplished that. But if we do this event in the future, we'll make sure that we don't run out of food. We'll monitor a little bit better. Some adults took a little bit advantage of us, but we'll do the best we can in the future. Thank you again, everyone from the city, auxiliary police, everyone. Thank you very much. I think it went well. Thank you.
Terrence Hicks.
For my esteemed colleagues to come up with me. So thanks. Good evening, Mayor Nolan, City Council, assorted administration. My name is Terrence Hicks. I serve as the chair for the Inkster Baseball Clinic, LLC. And so just to give you a little background, we all met, these distinguished gentlemen to talk about reestablishing an Inkster baseball program, because all of us that may have known is that in the early 60s and the early 70s, we had a robust Little League baseball program. I mean, it was robust. And so, as you know, these days it's football and basketball, but we want to give our community other opportunities, athletic opportunities to build character and athletic talents to take it even further. So what we did was establish the LLC, and we talked about it, and we said it wouldn't be prudent to necessarily start a baseball league when they're not familiar with baseball. So we kind of tracked it back, pushed it back, and said what we will do is start an Inkster Baseball League clinic. And on August 9th, what we propose to do is have a clinic where we have hitting and catching and outfield and bases and the whole 9 yards, so to speak. And then on that Sunday, August 10th, have a competition where maybe have pitching cages to determine how fast your pitches are and just give them a little bit to go on. And then who's to say where that would go, and perhaps food trucks and other things as part of this. So what we look for the City of Inkster, because where we would like to host this is Inkster City Park. And as you know, and anybody who's been around, there's no real fields right now that's really usable. But we're just looking at it from really a baseline kind of viewpoint, that if the grass was just cut and the weeds that have turned into trees on the backstop were removed, we could be functional for that day. But I want to give opportunities for others to speak, but more than anything, what we're looking for is both marketing, assistance with marketing, the program, perhaps some sponsorship targets that we can go to, because our costs are minimum. The cost to refurbish a field is in upwards of $40,000. And so with the time that we have, August 9th, that's not going to happen. But these other things can possibly happen, and I don't just want to hold on that. Okay, any of you other ones speak? That's all right, I'll close it out. Okay.
I just want to address the fact that I was really depressed when I did the city run, where baseball has gone, which is to zero. I had the opportunity as a young man to come under Mr. Charles Penn, who introduced a lot of young men to athletics, period, in the city of Inkster. And it's just amazing how over the years, for whatever reason, it's gone. And so us and others have decided that that's enough. We need to put it back where it's supposed to be. We lose a lot of kids because we don't offer the right type of activities, because we don't have the mentors who have the skills, who have the knowledge, that would more than likely come out and support them. So what we're asking this body is to help us help our children to reestablish a connective piece in baseball. There's just so many different things that can be done. But if the leadership backs us correctly, we know we will fulfill and supersede the goals and objectives. So we're actually appealing not only to the mayor and council, but to also the citizens. If you want to save your community, you got to get your youth involved. And the way you do it is provide activities as one vehicle. There's many more to it. But if we can get that reestablished and make it happen, we're pretty certain that there'll be a lot of fantastic things coming from it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question or two. So what are,
Add that we have a lot of participation from other communities that's willing to come in and help us. So we really will appreciate you guys' support. Okay, thank you.
I have a few quick questions. So what are your age ranges for the young men that are coming out?
Young girls.
Well, but, okay, well,
Oh, yeah,
young to youth.
so it's, the age range is ages 8 to 13. We're gonna go 8 to 10 years old, girls and boys, and then 11 to 13 years old, girls and boys. As I stated, the first day, it doesn't matter if the field is completely refurbished, as long as the field is cut and the grass is cleared, then we can make it happen that way. And then the way, if you can envision this, we'll have placards that 1, 2, 3, 4, which would identify which stations they are. And then on that Sunday, and also we're gonna have hot dogs and chips and the whole 9 yards for the kids out there that day. And so the time is of the essence right now. So I think more than anything is the marketing and promotion of this.
And that was my next question. Like, when you say marketing, do you mean like flyers? Do you mean like we put it on our social media? Like, can you give more like, meat to the marketing piece?
Yes, just what you just said.
Okay.
Well, you may even know people that would donate a check in a certain amount to offset some of the expense. I mean,
Perfect.
realistically, we go nowhere without the funds.
Right.
I mean, it's really that simple. And that's not only to this school, but that's to the community. I mean, you gotta back your children. And if you have to do a little Red Roots party on Saturday, and you have to do that. And then make a presentation so we can make this thing happen.
So,
Thank you very much.
yeah, so I would say like my
Thanks for your time, and we'll reach out to
Really
you.
quick,
One more
my
question,
last-
one more question.
Sorry, I'm kind of soft-spoken. So my last ask would be if you all, similar to how we did for the Inkster High group, if you could like put it in an email, just kind of like your needs and asks. And I think it's easier for us to like tell you what we can do, and like at least that way we have an idea. Like if we need to get drone for the grass to be cut, or or Troy to make a flyer, or anything, or if we're able to offer services, because Councilman or Mayor Pro Tem Chisholm, I heard, can make a mean flyer. So, just different things like that. So if you could put it in an email to us and shoot it to us, that'd be greatly appreciated. So we can see how we can help as well.
I'll get your information,
Okay,
and
perfect.
send you the flyer.
Okay. Or you can send it to the clerk, and then she'll send it to all of us.
I got one other thing I want to add. I don't know how it works out because we're actually talking about the county part.
Right.
And I know the county is a little different than the city.
County is covered.
So I guess we would need the mayor to kind of lead us through that to make sure that we're doing it correctly. We don't have to worry about conflict.
Right, that makes sense.
And so my point is, if that's not viable, we still gotta make sure we have it and make it happen. So
I don't think it's a problem.
we get Wheatley Park or whatever, I'm just
Yeah.
throwing that
I
out.
was thinking of Wheatley
The
Park.
point is, we wanna make it available to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
We'll call the county and see if we need to reserve the baseball field. We'll make sure they cut it before the event. So we'll let you know.
Mr. Mayor, I had a comment. I just wanted, maybe this is something they can get together and do for your, for the day camp or something.
Well, we talked about that, but they want to do a separate event because it's a weekend clinic and our camp is not open on the weekends. So they wanted to make sure the event is separate. But it might be a lot of the same kids. you know.
Right.
So I will send you an email.
They're the clerk. Just send it to the clerk and she'll forward it to everyone.
You send
And
it,
then Councilwoman Richardson has.
Yes, just one thing. I do remember baseball back in the day. My father was a coach then, but back then, I'm sorry. I do remember baseball back when we were younger, and my father was a coach. One of the things that they did is they approached the churches. Like they had churches, like they had Smith Chapel Lions and different ones.
Shamrocks over here.
There you go. So maybe you can get back and get involved and get them involved, and they will, because they bought everything that we needed to have that. So maybe if you can get with the Ministerial Alliance or whatever and meet, and maybe you can get the churches to do a donation towards this. Just a suggestion.
I appreciate that. That's appreciated.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for your time.
All right, thank you. Tammy Arbor Bailey. Hold on.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor,
Good evening.
council, and residents. I'm here for one reason. There was a discrepancy in my water bill. So I own a residence at 3586 Spring Hill Avenue. So back in August and July of last year, the bill came. I'll just go straight to the point. I guess I'm not putting the blame on anybody, but Mr. Mayor, I wrote a letter to you. I wrote a letter to the city council, and I wrote a letter to the city assessor. Nobody could acknowledge my letter, just to tell me that, hey, we've received your letter and things of that nature. And it's personally, you guys ask for our votes and we give you our votes. I just feel like that was unprofessional, and it's just my point of view. I really want the bill to be rectified because we've gotten two separate plumbing companies that came out. They went under the crawl space and they didn't find any leak. I came to your office by the water department. They call her the supervisor. They're very unprofessional too, and I just want this to be taken care of. We've been consistent with our bill payments, and something really needs to be done. That's why I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter to you, Mr. Mayor. You can revisit that, or I write you another letter, I'll do that.
Yeah, I read the letter. I forwarded it to Mr. Bivens in June, to follow up with you regarding, they said you had already talked to June. You spoke to Miss June already?
Miss June.
In the water department?
I spoke to her. She was very unprofessional. So she sent somebody out, one of the workers there. He came and changed the meter.
Changed the meter?
So the question is, why should you change the meter when there is discrepancies? You know, it doesn't make sense, you know.
Well, did you think the meter wasn't working properly?
I don't know, Mr. Mayor. I'm not sure about that. We came there when the bill came to notify the office. So we came there. I requested for them to send a technician or whatsoever and work out.
Okay.
So they came there, and instead of him trying to go under the house to see if there was leak, he changed the meter. So why did he change the meter when there was these discrepancies? So we've been trying to pay the bill just for us not to get into trouble. So we've done the best we can, but I think it has to be rectified. Just for...
Have you talked to Mr. Bivens yet?
Mr.
Speak to him tonight. He's over DPS, the water department.
Okay.
Make sure you talk to him tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Padilla Searles. Might not be pronouncing that right. Yes, I am.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. These are my neighbors. They are here for the same complaint. Still talking about our road.
They want you.
Okay, I have a low voice. Still speaking about our roads. I remember it started from the water line fix, when we was fixing the water pipes, and the contractors came in and they really tore the streets up.
What street is that? I'm sorry.
North River Park Drive.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I remember.
Yes. Yes. And now to fix the problem was to put in a dirt road. That's what we have now. We didn't start off with a dirt road. Now we have the dirt road with the gravel. And it's really creating a quality of air. Because a lot of us now have problems breathing, and I am a respiratory therapist, so I can state about how bad it is on your lungs, because I can show you if I can approach
Let me see. I just saw
some videos that I've taken when cars go by.
dust pile comes up.
Yes, all in the air, all day long. And I also like to work in my yard. So,
It's hard to do.
yes, try to wear a mask while you're working in your yard. No, that doesn't work. Yes.
It's over a year now, yeah. We wait all winter to sit outside, work outside, keep everything up. And basically with the southwest wind, which is 90% of the time, coming from the southwest, it's toward the houses, you can't even sit in the back. We can't open our doors and windows, our cars, everything. We're just wondering what the plan is. We gotta have a plan.
Actually, I understand because I walked down your street, so I sucked in
Yeah,
all the dirt and everything myself.
We keep thinking that eventually something's gonna happen, but it's been over a year.
And we spoke to this is the second time this come up at a meeting. And I remember, what did you say? I forget what you said last time.
We're working on a plan right now. We did come out this past week and redo the road. We did some potholes today. I got somebody coming out to deal with the dust.
What are you doing with the dust? Spray it?
We're gonna try to control it. So we're not gonna spray it with water.
There
Or do something
hasn't
else.
been anybody go any potholes.
It came today.
It's all dirt, no?
No, they did. I got pictures of it.
I also have videos.
I know what it is. So
Yes.
I said they came out. I didn't say they made a new road. They leveled it off.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they did level it off, and more trucks came in. I believe it was Friday or Saturday.
Friday.
They came in, but what they did, the tractors came in and tracked up the dirt. And then the plowers came in with the roller and rolled it back down. That just made it worse.
It does make it worse, yeah. It's only good until it rains and then it just washes down into the River.
And then what happens when it snows during the winter? The snow tracks come in.
Are there any plans?
Right now.
I'm listening to it right now. It doesn't sound like it's going too well.
Well, the plans when the repairs all went, and there were no plans when they did the repairs and the road got worse during the repairs with all the equipment. So when they did the repairs, there was no plan at that point, so there's still no plan?
Well, can you guys have time to talk to Mr. Bivens and talk about it so we don't have to keep tonight, not tomorrow? You guys got time to talk?
Yeah, that's why we're all here, we can't breathe. She's got COPD, I have asthma, we're all,
Okay. Well, let's
You
find a
can't go
solution.
outside, winter or summer now.
Councilwoman.
Yes. I got a call from Mr. Craig, one of your neighbors, and I did drive down your street. And he did tell me the problems. I did see the issues that you had. But he told me that he came in today and he went to your office.
And he talked to my project manager.
And he talked to the project manager. And you were talking about trying to come up with some kind of dust control?
Yes.
Okay, so he did address that. So did you come up with anything for that, for the dust control?
Yeah, we're working on something right now to get a company to come out here to take care of the dust.
Okay, and we haven't paid the streets because
We don't have the money.
we don't have the money.
Okay, well, it's the largest sub in Inkster, right, that sub?
I can't.
It is the largest sub.
Can we,
All the rest
can
of the
you
streets
guys
are-
talk to him so he can
Then
tell
you
you
can
at least
talk
what
to
his
me.
plans are?
Yeah.
So you'll know what he's working on now, and then you hold us accountable.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anna Debach? Maybe that was part of that group. It says North River Park Drive. All right. Here's another one. I think they all came together. Yeah, this one too. All right. Jennifer Rochelle, I'm sorry.
Hey, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm here. I'm not coming to talk about Harrison Street no more. When I'm coming to talk about it is a driveway where I used to can even ride my lawnmower up to my salon from 3 streets over and cut my own grass. But it was a water main break a few years ago, and they never fixed that driveway. Where if I drove my lawnmower up, I can fall in it. Fall over.
It's dirt?
It's just they just removed some of the driveway and never fixed it back. And yes, sure enough.
You familiar with you know where this line is?
Yeah, he know. Yeah, he know.
So we have any plans to?
Yeah, we get ready to apply for bid for reconstruction, restoration. So it will be done
This year? Before winter?
I'm telling you, I'm coming back, don't I? I'm gonna keep coming too.
You coming back?
I will.
Okay. Gabe Henderson.
Hello, family. How's everybody doing? Hope
Good, how
everybody
you?
doing fine and all that. And I'm Gabe Henderson, Inkster Beautification. I just want to speak on our beautification program. June the 29th, okay, is one of the dates that we're going to have dumpsters out. Our main location, of course, we know is Booker Dozier Rec Complex on Middle Belt. And there we have trash bags, we have gloves, and we have coffee, we have donuts, and plus we have a sign-in sheet mainly, okay, for people who come out and receive the gloves and trash bag. And the main reason for that sign-up sheet is going to be something that is saying that if you do clean up and you have a collection of trash and all, it put a list where that's located, and I can pick it up in the truck and all that, so you don't have to worry about it sitting there. But it has to be signed on the sheet that it's an item that you would like to have picked up. Okay, and also we got other locations that we're going to have dumpsters that are going to be at Wheatley Park. Okay. Of course, that's on Carlisle. Well, we got one, Westwood, that's on Stroman, okay. We got a dumpster there, and Lamone Park, and that's on Pine Street. These areas will have dumpsters and all that. And that's pretty much all I have to say. But I want to thank, for the positive things that I saw today, mainly coming back to try to get baseball back. But, they say build it and they'll come. So we got to build it and the way it will come. And thank you for allowing me to say something for our beautiful city of Inkster. And I love y'all.
Love you too.
We got to keep on loving and help one another. That's our purpose in life. And thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I have a question for you.
Well, any questions?
Yes, I have a question for you.
Right.
Okay, how long will the dumpsters be there?
Okay, they come in on Friday, okay, evening, and they supposed to be picked up normally Monday morning, so they be from like Friday to, and sometimes they stay long.
Right by Wheatley Park, and she always calls me and tells me when you guys put dumpsters there. It gets so many people just dumping stuff that's not even from Inkster.
That's a problem. It would be nice if we had a person. One time we had the CERT organization, and we would donate members, to monitor those and check the people, and see if they have an Inkster driving license, a resident license and all that. And this way, and check and see what they're dumping. But now we don't provide that because trying to have those areas manned that we're going to need, So, but that's something we can look into in the future, that we can start manning those. And, but I try my best to, when I'm
You're doing
there.
a good job. I just, just wanted to mention
Uh-huh.
that because I know she always calls me.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
tell me
you
some
know,
of the people just dumping.
I'm gonna say this, I call them good old boys. You know, they come to other communities
You do.
and they like to, dump their stuff and all that. I called a few of them and all that, And there's been some shameful things that even when they're caught and all that. One lady, I think about 10 years ago, she had to go to the court because, they found out she was throwing trash. And her statement said, well, Inkster's trash and junk anyway. I figure I can throw. But you got attitude of people, they would put salt in the wounds. I know we are wounded community. It's not saying that we are, that financially, I know we never had a whole lot of money, but we had a lot of positive spirit and all that. And sometimes we can't do all what the other communities do because of our financial situation, but we do all what we can. And I think we do a pretty good job looking after our seniors, and we're trying to do more for our young folks. We got programs going and all that. But anyway, I may be going here and there. But,
Thank you so much.
yeah, but anyway, okay. I think you.
Mr. Mayor, can you make a flyer and list where the dumpsters are going to be and maybe have it at the clerk station or something?
We'll do it for him.
Okay, please.
I doubt he has.
They made one.
No, I was going to let you.
James Eberhard Jr.
They made one already.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay, they have one. Send everybody.
Peace residents, council, and mayor. I just wanted to come back to the body and to the community. Came 2 Mondays ago, talked about going up to Lansing for CVI Advocacy Day. So I just wanted to give the body and the community an update from that day. We had over 80 plus constituents, community members from all over the state of Michigan to advocate for CVI. We had some of the residents. I want to commend Tony Edmonds and his wife for also coming up to Lansing with us and a couple other Inkster residents as well. We got to speak to our state rep, Dylan, briefly. He had a couple of meetings, but we also was able to get CVI proclamated for June 13th by State Rep Donovan McKinney. So we spoke earlier to tie in reference to what just transpired today with the end of watch, June 17th. Today, officer was shot on duty by someone doing an illegal activity. And I want to bring that to reference because Detroit made an investment into something that was an alternative and a solution to assist with gun violence inside of the community. And so I just want to bring that to reference that there is going to be money in the state of Michigan through MHD, Michigan Human Health and Services Department, to receive some grants for community-driven solutions to end gun violence. And we was a part of that this past June 13th, okay? So I want to make sure that we're putting this back in full circle, that there is some resources out there to assist with these activities that's happening in our community. I also wanted to make sure on my behalf as a local advisory council members for Forbes BLK, I wanted to extend to my community a virtual ticket to our Forbes BLK Summit in Atlanta, but you can view virtually June 23rd through 25th. This is investing in us, advancing capital and creating community in Black America. Now more than ever, the impact of Black entrepreneurships, investments, and cultural creations are dominating the global media landscape. Yet many of us feel like our careers, economies, communities, and even our countries are at a crossroads. Join us, Forbes and Forbes BLK community, for a 3-day summit filled with inspiring ideas and engaging conversation about the future of our community. You will be joined by leading executives, entrepreneurs, creators, and change makers for an experience that will challenge and change you and change the world. We have a lot of guest speakers like Fantasia, Russell Westbrook, Jermaine Dupree, Stacey Abrams, Kurt Franklin, Ayanna Parsons, Mike Will made it, Kaden Harris, April Showers. The list goes on. This will be on the ticket, the complimentary virtual ticket will be posted on my nonprofit website, Motivating Inner New Dreams. I will post that up tonight, this evening, for you all that's interested while supplies last with comp tickets, just go on my website, www.motivatinginnernewdreams.org. And it's a comp ticket for the Forbes BLK Summit, as I'm the local advisory council for Forbes BLK for Michigan, one of them. So I just wanted to extend that to my community, the opportunity to learn, grow, and network on a global scale. Any questions?
Thank you.
Ashley Williams.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, residents. I'm just up here really quick with a call to action on behalf of the Planning Commission. So, as McKenna presented, we're in the process of updating our master plan. And as the Mayor Pro Tem know, the master plan comes up often in our Planning Commission meetings, which are on the fourth Monday of the month. And there's cases that come before us that have a lot of discussion, and it would be beneficial if we had more public participation to kind of get how you guys feel about those things. And then it will put into context what's coming before you when they get here. So for example, the text amendment, they're probably gonna roll their eyes at me in a second, but I was against it for a variety of reasons. And there was a very robust discussion as to why. We're discussing updating the ordinances and the land use map. And we, at this last meeting, I think we maybe had 4 people in the audience, and 3 of those were ones making the case or the ones who had submitted their application. So yeah, McKenna brought up a few dates that were coming up for public participation for everyone to come out and give their feedback. But I think a key part of that is coming to the Planning Commission meetings so that you guys are getting some maybe real-time updates about what we're discussing, and then before they get here. And then when there's recommendations that come before you, there's more context behind why it did or why it didn't. And I know everyone's busy, we got a lot going on, but we are in the process of updating this master plan and trying to get it to completion by the end of the year or by adoption in February. So I'm really hoping that if you guys are available, you can come. And our next meeting is what I believe the 25th. Is that our next, June 25th?
Oh, you want me to look at the calendar?
I'm sorry. I did look, and I think I forgot really
It's
fast.
actually June 24th.
24th.
Yeah.
June 24th is our next Planning Commission meeting, and that's it.
It starts
Oh,
at 6:30 p.m.
6:30.
6:30.
So,
Right here in council chambers.
as I mentioned, master plan comes up often. We're talking about, special land uses or different cases, ordinances, but I think it would help if we had more comments from the public. And then, like I said, it will put it into context when it gets before you guys. That's it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We would never roll our eyes at you. Okay. We have one more public comment. Someone asked us to read their comment into the record because they were not going to be able to be here today. And we extended that accommodation to them. So I'm going to have the Madam Clerk read the person's name and then read it into the record.
Charles Blackwell. Comment is, good evening. Byron Nolan is a secret owner of the Flower Bowl Dispensary. The Flower Bowl is owned by Emmett Gibson, and the house Byron Nolan stays in on Sunningdale Street is also listed in the name of owner Emmett Gibson. Lastly, the water bill at Councilwoman Felicia Rutledge's house is $309 and past due. For the record clarification, according to the last license renewal for the Flower Bowl, the names listed are Rif Hamid Mubarak, Hassan Zatoun, Ali Mazloum, Marcin Carmo, and Mohammed Mazloum.
They're the owners. So Mr. Blackwell wanted to make that statement, so of course we accommodated him. Typically, people come into the meetings to make statements. We don't allow people to make statements remotely because that could get out of control, But we did this one time, so. That being that, Madam Clerk, you have anything else?
My comment?
Yeah, what's your comment?
On June the 8th, I attended the Women's Expo that was presented by the top ladies of distinction, Michigan Metro chapter. It was held at Robichaud High School. I had a table there with all sorts of voting information, the do's and don'ts. how you can vote, early voting, voting locations, everything was at the table that I had for the city of Inkster. Also, there was various vendors, workshops, presentations, speakers, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful event. So kudos to the top ladies of distinction, Michigan Metro Chapter.
Okay. All right, Mayor and Council Communication. Councilwoman Scott.
Nothing.
Councilman Bishop.
Nothing for me, man.
Councilwoman Rutledge.
Yeah, Mr. Blackwell can come pay this bill.
See if he got five on
You
it.
got five on it. I do have a comment. I did attend the Westland Bennett Foundation Parade. April Gary, you did a wonderful job. I had a blast at the parade. Also attended Haney Sabri's third annual business expo. He had various businesses and vendors out there. Also, I was the mistress of ceremony at the Spring Hill Baptist Church at their Juneteenth program. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Chisholm, for coming to help me out because I was a little nervous. Also, for those of you who don't know, Opal Lee, this was very informative. Opal Lee is 97 years old, and she spearheaded to make Juneteenth a federal holiday, and she's still living.
And she
So,
is awesome.
yes, they have some good information there at the program. Also, attended the Inkster Cobras and the Inkster Riders. They had a bike and car event at D'Amico's restaurant. So that was a great way for them to help support a local business. You guys should come. I think they're trying to do that every Saturday. That was a really good event, had good food. Also, I'll let the mayor probably elaborate on his Father's Day. Fish fry, it was his first annual, had a blast at that. It was a good time. I also wanted to say that DTE, thank you, Mayor, for providing the rep's phone number. In my district, I was receiving several calls. They are in the area. They weren't provided the appropriate notice, but since then, we have started receiving notice, door knockers on our doors. So anybody, DTE is in the city. I just wanted to let you know that information as well. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Howard.
Yes. On the agenda tonight about the property, about the dog pound, I mean, dog kennel that you guys want. In the future, if we selling commercial vehicles, can you guys include the assessed value?
You mean property?
The property.
Okay.
And then that way we'll know what's going on.
Sure. We didn't put that in the packet, the assessed value?
No.
Okay, because I know we brought it up before. When the first offer came in, I thought we had that information at that point. But we should have put it back in the packet though, so we can look at it. It's easy for us.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that.
The next thing too, when will we be receiving our documents as far as like a check registry and budget to actual? Is it gonna be after the budget? Because we have, those were information that we used to get for many years. Because that lets us know how much money is being spent out, you know what they are.
Oh, yeah, we haven't.
We have not gotten those.
Oh, okay. I mean, you get them monthly though, right?
We used to get them monthly, we haven't gotten.
That stopped a few years ago, right?
It was sporadic.
It was sporadic, but yeah.
Yeah, we plan to get that back started as soon as we hire a full-time treasurer.
Okay.
We're still working a little piecemeal, but we definitely want to have that information on
Yeah,
a monthly
because for the new council, it helps you see what each department is spending and whether or not they're going over in their budget.
Yeah.
So we can kind of keep an eye on that, but we haven't received it, so. Okay.
We'll start getting them.
Okay, and for the dumpsters, as far as when they do the cleanup, and maybe we can have extra people maybe go ride around just to see,
We can, but it's
Because
hard. It's just hard to monitor. Because first of all, a
It's
lot of
hard to
folks.
monitor.
I know we say people from other communities, and I'm sure that's true. But a lot of people from our own community throw their sofa in there too.
Yeah.
So it's hard to. How do you monitor that? Excuse me, let me see your driver's license. On what authority do they have to show us their driver's
Right,
license?
because it's
You
just
know,
sad because they be throwing, they don't even put it in the dumpster, they just throw it right in front of, and then she's calling me.
Yeah, I've
so.
seen that too.
Yeah.
And then when it gets full, they just put it outside on the
Yeah.
ground. You know?
Okay, that's all, thank you, that's all I have.
Okay. Councilwoman Richardson.
Yes. Well, we already discussed North River Park.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I'm concerned about dumping again. They have dumped couches and mattresses at the old city hall and across at the police station, the old police station. I don't know what we do to curtail that, or if you have someone that's going picking things up, but it looks really bad.
I saw that.
Yeah. Excuse me. Also, there was a water main break down on my street, 2297, and this was a couple of months ago. They were like the cones removed and the piles of dirt cleaned up. If we could do that, please.
That's address?
2297, he know. Also, is there
Jerome Almighty.
is there a code where we can decorate street signs? Your street, on the corner of your street, you're in the name of mine is Isabel. I'm really tired of looking at that street sign. I do understand they're trying to make a memorial out of it.
Oh,
However, it is a flag there that blows and it goes out of Michigan Avenue, and it looks horrible. This is the third time, and I don't know code enforcement who's supposed to handle that, but this is the third time I brought it up. And basically, I would really, really like it if you could clean that up. I am having company out of town this week, in 2 weeks. I don't want them to come and see that. I mean, our city, we got to clean it up. So I would like if that's taken care of, please. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This weekend was jam-packed. I'm glad my colleagues already kind of gave you a summary on it. Congratulations to everybody on all of your events that took place and were successful. In that, we had a multitude of Juneteenth celebrations, and it has came up in different community groups that as the council, we should start taking the lead on this by imposing, or as former Councilwoman Wiley has said before, a master calendar, just for the simple fact that everybody's being stretched thin, if you will. And of course, charging us to be at every single event that's running at the exact same time the other events are on. And so, like Juneteenth, for instance, the weekend celebrations were great, but the actual holiday is during the week. Some places are not observing it as a holiday. And some of us have to be at work, and we can't even celebrate our own heritage unless we take the day off, right? But 4th of July is celebrated everywhere. So with that being said, we want to be mindful, I guess, coming up next year on how we can consolidate and have one grand affair versus multiple ones. And I'm not saying that no one's doing lesser than the other party, but we just have to come together. And I got this passed to me. Am I supposed to announce this? And I will. But that was just one thought that came out from multiple community groups. It's not just us saying it, it's residents all over the community, because we just need to come together and celebrate and unify. Also, city council colleagues, as the special meeting that's coming forth June 27th at 5 p.m. This gives you all a little bit of time, including myself, to get ready. We are being requested to take a group picture. And so that could go out for like the flyers and whatnot that come from the city. And so if you are or so please, because to take a group picture instead of just inserting your headshots, we would like to do that after that meeting.
What color you want us to wear?
You can wear your finest, Sunday finest, Sunday's best.
You said colors?
Colors.
Also, I have Code Red. So, ladies and gentlemen, please sign up for Code Red. We're chasing fires on social media again. People are asking the exact same questions that they ask year after year after year. And one of them today was about cooling centers in the city of Inkster. And the moment they asked a question and started a conversation, it came out on Code Red about where all of our cooling centers were. They weren't necessarily on the websites that post everything about where all the different cooling centers or warming centers are. And sometimes that just takes time when those entities post it, but the city already had the information readily available and out there. So, of course, we're promoting it continuously, but please tell a friend, tell a neighbor to sign up for it so they can get those notifications instantaneously via text, via email, or via phone call. And I think that is about it. And other than that, one of the Juneteenth celebrations coming up is also in combination with the Gun Violence Walk. Pep Rally and Peace Walk. That is happening this Wednesday, I guess, starting at the City of Inkster Amphitheater, Old City Hall, or 27301 South River Park Drive. At 11 a.m., the rally starts. The walk begins at noon. We would like for you to design posters, acquire free gun locks for yourself or for those persons who need them, and of course to wear orange. I believe there are multiple walks happening that day. I only have this one particular flyer in front of me, so please tune in with those different entities and participate as you are able. And I think that is it, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. I'm
We're
glad.
orange, Mayor.
Orange? We doing orange?
Orange.
Orange. Yeah, DeAndre's in
No,
charge.
no, not for the picture. No, the walk.
Oh.
The walk. I want to see you in orange.
I want to see your hair orange. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
No, you.
She'll do it.
I can't change.
She'll do it.
I sure will.
All right, real quick, we're going to, it came out on Code Red, but we had additional cooling centers in the city of Inkster's Oak Street Health. I got it. On Cherry Hill and Inkster Road, that's a cooling center from 8 to 5 p.m. Housing has a couple cooling centers, Twin Towers, same time frame. Simmons Center on Carlisle and Middle Belt. And we also, of course, got the rec center. We're doing 12 to 8, 12 to 9, 12 to 9, because we typically close at 9. Okay. So it's gonna be hot this week, so if you know somebody's outside, doesn't have anywhere to go, make sure they get to one of the cooling centers. Don't want nobody falling out. It's gonna be real, real warm. Father's Day Fish Fry first annual, I think it was a great success. I wanna thank Sean French. He partnered with me and cooked fish. Everything was free, by the way. We had fish, turkey burgers, all type of food, French fries, ice cream for the kids. It was a great event. It's nice and hot. We had a lot of kids out there playing on the playscape, so it was a good event. So we plan to do it again next year. I also want to announce the Seeds to Feed picnic, which is typically the Sunday after Father's Day, has been moved to July 14th this year at Inkster Park. So I know everybody geared up to go next weekend, but we moved to July 14th this year because of a scheduling conflict. So we hope to see everybody out at that time. Let me see, did I miss anything? Hanif Sabri, Black Expo was good. We have to start supporting those events even more. He wants to do a community garden, so we need to get with him, support him, and make that something huge, where we can grow our own vegetables and fruits and then sell them at our own farmer's market. It's time to take control of our own destiny. So I met with him today, so he's open to everybody joining in and helping him out and make this a big community effort. I want to thank my sister Stephanie coming in from Louisville, came in from out of town for coming out. That's all I have. We got a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Mayor, I want to ask you one thing. Do you remember Mr. Gambrill? That he had that
whole big committee guy.
see, give him a call, or you want me to call to see if they still have he's trying to find members to do that, but he still may have that land to plant.
I think he did.
Because we was out there planting, and we went to 10 Towers and gave away a lot of stuff.
I think he said he was one to supervise. He can't do the work.
Well, he can't do the work, but he's a very good farmer.
Oh, he's a green thumb for sure.
So maybe we can talk to him to see if he can if he still has, he
In
can
the
still,
neighborhood, yeah.
he can still grow there.
Yep.
And maybe we can do
Okay.
something like that there too.
We'll reach out to him.
Okay.
You got a motion? Probably moved in second discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Yeah. He wants to do that too. He wants to be involved.